thing.
Right, excellent. We are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hope you're having a good time. I hope you're busy. I'm joined by Jo and Pammie from Asian Fusion Grooming, and we're going to be talking about continual qualifications for you in your salon. So welcome, Pammie. Welcome, Jo.
Morning. Oh no, not morning. Hello.
Hi, Bill. Nice to see you.
You're still recovering from Groomfest?
Yeah. What day of the week is it?
Yeah. Still nursing my feet.
Oh, Pammie,
It's a big day.
It was a long day. We're just going to let your internet connection calm down a bit, Pammie, and hopefully that will catch up with us. But how are you doing, Jo?
Yeah, good. Groomfest was brilliant this year. Particularly, we did have a lot to talk about, and it was a little bit scary because it wasn't our usual conversation. And yeah, we were thrilled. We were thrilled with the day, how everything that we were talking about was received. It was a real buzz. Do you know, because it was busy all day, wasn't it, Bill?
It was busy, very busy. And like you said, like Pammie said, we just don't get to sit down, do we? Because there's pressure, isn't there? Because you're talking to people and there's people like standing behind them going, and you're like, oh, they're waiting to speak to me, and I'm having to like rush what I'm saying. It's really hard. And if I was Mike, if Mike's listening, I'd perhaps look again at 2-day event. I think, you know, there's a lot.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it.
There's a lot to cram in.
I set up a waiting room, Bill. That was my solution. I set up a load of chairs to have a waiting room.
I've done that. I put out before these events, I put out links where you can book a meeting slot, but well, we just need more people on our stands then to give more information, don't we?
Yeah. I tell you what, we'll stand next to you. We'll book a slot next to you next time, and then we'll just kind of, you know, go down the line with people.
Yeah, right.
Like a buffet.
Put your business out, sort your styling out, and I had Megan from HR sort your HR out, you know, just pass people along the line.
Yeah, I think that's
it. Conveyor belt for pet groomers.
Yeah. No, it was a good day. It was a good day, and it was nice to see everybody. And I definitely felt that there was a buzz in the room. I mean, we were there just kind of, you know, chatting, and literally they were taking the lights down. Some people were leaving, were like the last to leave, I think.
Like ushering you out. But anyway, there's a good event, but we're here to talk about some new qualifications that have come out in 2023 for pet groomers. So over to you, really, to tell us about what you've been up to and what people need to look out for.
Yeah, oh, thank you. Thanks, Bill, for inviting us on anyway. We've been talking about providing education online with Asian Fusion Grooming for the last few years, and Pammie's students and fans and customers have been really, really patient with us. They knew that it was coming, but it's taken longer to get right than, you know, we initially thought it would. And that was because we wanted to make sure that we were offering something of the right quality. And so we're really thrilled because this year we've managed to make it happen. So we launched the endorsed accreditation in scissoring skills back in March. And at Groomfest, we launched our partnership qualification with iPet Network. And that's the level 3 award in Asian Fusion wool coat teddy styling. I've got that on a post-it on my other screen because I have to say the words in the right order, otherwise I get a black you know.
Pammie
Yeah, and so we've been working with iPet on getting this right, and the process for us has been really interesting because, you know, what we've learned along the way is that not all courses are appropriate for becoming a qualification. You know, there are certain hurdles that you have to jump over and loops you have to go through to make sure that your students get the service that you're required to deliver when you're putting a qualification out on the open market. And that's been really interesting for us, because we've been quite skeptical in recent years about just the standard of qualifications being delivered within grooming per se. You know, when everything, obviously on the back of the pandemic, there was a massive shift to teaching online through absolute necessity. And a lot of the rules changed so that schools were responsible for their own assessments. And that then obviously got filtered back into the qualifications. So we'd seen and we'd heard and we'd listened and had opinions on quite a lot. And so what was really important was that we took as much of that on board as we could. And our feet were held to the flames a little bit, Pammie, weren't they, in terms of, you know, making sure that we were kind of able to deliver what we wanted to. Because so easy, it's, you know, it's often the time that you make a promise and you've got a great idea, but actually delivering that promise is something completely different. So yeah, there was lots of toing and froing. You know, we presented what we wanted to present, and iPet were, you know, they were like, okay, well that works, but this bit doesn't, or, you know, let's think again. How can we make this, you know, more appropriate for remote learning? And we, you know, the thing that we've built in is there's a tutoring element. So whilst the learning element is online, so you have complete flexibility, it will run like a cohort, as if you signed up to a classroom experience. So every week, after you've done your remote learning, Pammie will run a tutor session, again, you know, online, but it'll be live. And if you can't make it, it'll be recorded. So that gives you a chance to recap what you've learned in your lesson and ask any questions. And that, I think that's a game changer for a lot of people. You know, certainly people that we were talking to on Sunday, when you walk them through the process, a lot of the sort of, oh, I'm not really, you know, I'm not really an online learner, I'd much rather be in a classroom. That anxiety about this method of study was removed, because at the end of the day, they knew that they'd be able to get hold of Pammie and, you know, on a weekly basis, if not more, to ask their questions.
That's it. And I think I definitely know there'll be people there, and that you don't want this. I know that you don't want this, the same as I don't want it with my courses, but you don't want people purchasing the courses and the program and not following through with it. You know, when we put these programs and courses out, we are so passionate about people actually doing them and completing them and implementing them within their business. And it's a frustrating feeling when people aren't doing the work, or they've just purchased it. And some people might think, well, you've got the money, but actually I'd rather not have the money and if they're not going to commit. So that a bit of accountability, the mentorship, the tutorship, and the contact with Pammie is so important, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've already had, we had 350 people sign up their interest within the first 48 hours. So all the information packs, you know, to that 350, there's more waiting, which I'll be doing later in the week, but that was like the first response. Obviously, that bit is quite easy. What you then have to be able to do is to walk people through the process and make sure, you know, firstly, that they've got the right background skills to get the most out of the course. And secondly, you know, make sure that they're on board with the commercial benefit that this could bring their salon. And, you know, like what Pammie and I dream of is having, like, you know, little pink Asian fusion groomers running around the country, kind of wearing our jackets with a window sticker of a Teddy style groom saying, you know, Asian Fusion qualified, and being able to offer that service to their customers. So, you know, their social media feeds have got, you know, if you want your dog to have this style of groom, come to me.
Yeah, it's about
That's
building,
what gets us excited,
isn't it? Giving them that confidence that they actually can do it, and they know what they're doing, they know how to do it, they know why they're doing it, and they can complete that groom on, you know, most any dog that the customer will bring for them. And that's a great thing, because so many people think, I just can't do it. So being able to give them that confidence, to be able to give them the knowledge and all the underpinning theory, it's just like it gives us a huge buzz to know that at the end of this, people will be out there really being able to do it, and not just piecing bits together and thinking, oh, that'll do,
You know,
and not having confidence to go with it.
That's it. And there's, I actually put a post out today on my feed about, it was someone doing cat grooming, but the what I followed that up with is that the pet grooming industry, and we call it pet grooming now, I don't like just dog grooming because it's an industry, is so diverse. And if you think about a career, a chosen career, and this, when I was in the police, I thought, you know, I've got a 30-year career, there's so many different things I can do within that career. Pet grooming's not too dissimilar, you know. This you might start off with just dogs, but then you've got so much more you can do. And then, so if you diversify your skills and diversify your business, you're serving more people, you're bringing more people into your business, into your social media and your websites and everything. But it also holds your interest, doesn't it?
yeah.
It holds your interest in your career, and that's what we're talking about now.
I think responsibility for your own path is really important, and particularly because so many of our customers, you know, so many groomers are working by themselves, that having something to belong to give support is really part of the role of I think any school, you know, that you're their family. I mean, you only have to see, I'm standing there, you know, next to Pammie, and all these people, I've got no idea who they are coming up through something like Groomfest, giving her a hug, you know, oh, you know, great to see you. These are all kind of past and present students, and that bond, that relationship, you know, that's what we want to be able to try and create to support this learning environment. And the business plan for us was never this is one course. You know, the business plan for us is, we want this to be an Asian fusion movement, you know. So this is about the right products, the right education, the right attitude, the right handling of the dogs, because that takes something that you can't do, you know, the same way that you might a kind of traditional groom. And it also requires really tapping into that left brain, because there's no sort of instruction manual. You know, you're having to learn a different way of looking at a dog to make an assessment on how to get the best groom for that coat, for that shape of the dog, to make it look cute, you know, in an Asian fusion style.
Cool. So maybe let's break it down into what you're now offering. So perhaps we can start off with that level 3 in scissoring, because I think they're gonna follow on, aren't they? The scissoring is like a really important part, and then does that follow on to the Asian fusion course?
Yeah, I mean, so to do the styling course, which will be the first one of several that we're going to introduce, and they will get progressively more advanced in terms of what you're being taught to do. But the teddy style is something that, with all the cockapoos, with a lot of wool coats, you know, in the market, there are elements, if not the full groom, there are elements like the oval muzzle, the short body, that owners are asking for, because it's a very practical, it looks really cute, but actually it's very practical as well. Now you have to have either a level 3 qualification or 2 years grooming experience to be able to do the styling course. So that's the first thing, and the reason for that is the skill set, but also for appropriate animal pet handling. So we don't teach handling, we don't teach scissoring skills, we show you what to do with those skills that we assume you've got to a certain degree by the time you come to do this course. And interestingly, you know, we then were saying to people on Sunday, how much scissoring are you doing now? And so many were going, well, no, yeah, I was never really taught scissoring, or I don't, you know, so I've taught myself, but it's, you know, they're clearly not comfortable with it. And so actually we talked some people down off of committing, you know, to the teddy styling and saying, look, start with the scissoring skills. You can do that sat in front of the telly, practicing at night, you know, one screen watching Pammie's videos, another screen watching Coronation Street, kind of get the lesson and practice and build up that muscle memory, and then start to introduce it in your day-to-day grooming. Once you've got that down, then come and learn the teddy skills. So, you know, that's the process that we want people to be successful. We've just had a great review, haven't we, Pammie, on the scissoring skills, because people are a little bit like, well, I'm not, I'm not sure, and I can understand that. But we've just had a great review from a lady who's been she's qualified, she's been grooming for 7 years, and her review said, I've learnt more on this scissor skills, you know, course than I've been able to teach myself in 7 years, because I was never taught as a student. So I've just been fumbling my way through, you know, watching videos, I guess, and watching other groomers. And she said it's just been game changing for her.
So it must be that you've thought up, you've designed the scissoring skills course from the amount of times that you've been speaking to groomers and going, you know, or Pammie's been teaching them the Asian Fusion and realizing that they just don't have the basic scissoring skills that are available or needed. So can you give us an overview of the course? What are they going to learn, and what are the outcomes for them if they take up the scissoring course?
Yeah, so it's a lot of
skill. Yeah.
Go on, Pammie, you say.
Well, I was going to say, to kind of wind that back slightly, what will they learn on Sunday? Several of the girls who have completed and about to take their exams for the scissor skills course came onto the stand, and they were able to say to me, oh, the new sleigh brand, they're VG10, and I know, and were able to tell me about the VG10 metal and why that was special, and they were able to ask me questions and quiz me about the different metals, and they were talking about the different teeth and different types of teeth and the blade edges and the difference that it's been making in their work since they've been on the course, that sort of thing. And the difference, Bill, in their confidence at coming to choose a pair of scissors themselves, rather than go to a retailer and say, what do you think you could sell me? What do you think that I need? We want to just change all of that, because these are the tools of their trade, Bill, of our trade. We need to know, because they're not cheap, are they? We need to know what it is we want, what it is we need, how we're going to use them, what the metals are, how that's going to make a difference in our lives, all of these things, so that we can make an informed choice rather than get what we're given, get what somebody else thinks that they need, that we need. And we really, really hope that this is going to stop groomers from sitting there with dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of pairs of scissors, unused, unloved, unkept, in drawers, festering away, and eventually they get chucked out or slung onto eBay or what is it, eBay or wherever it is they sell stuff. And hopefully that will put an end to this. So they know what they want. They'll know how to use them. They'll know how to take care of it. Because when students come to me for advanced training, so many times, we cannot do the advanced training. We have to go right the way back to basics. And that is very, very often just which scissors to use for where, when and how to look after them. And they turn up sometimes with rusty scissors. And they bought the wrong scissors. It's been the wrong quality of metal. They didn't know. They don't understand why. So seeing these people coming through now and coming onto the stand at shows like Groomfest with this new knowledge and their chins up and their bosoms out and feeling confident and able to say, I know what I need. No, I don't need them, Pammie, but I need them. That's great. That's what this course will do for you.
Yeah, and that boosting confidence, and you know, we all sit on the social media groups, and the overwhelm that people must get when they ask that question in the groups, what scissors should I buy? Oh my God, it must be so overwhelming. I do wonder whether actually people actually get able to make a decision from it. So knowledge is power.
My hair is in it, pulling it out, Bill. Ah!
So Jo, yeah, maybe you can go through the overview of, obviously they're learning about scissors, but
so we've written the background material so that you can learn about the product. So we go through the different types of scissors, the metals that they're made from, the different type of blade edges, the different types of blades, you know, what you're going to get through different configurations of teeth and finish of metals. And then we go on to learning how to use them. So we don't show grooming per se, but we show technique. So Pammie's giving instruction on how to do things like reverse scissoring, blunt cutting, feathering, layering, texturizing. So, you know, and when you would use that technique within a groom. So so there's lots of practical examples in that respect. And of course, because when you then go on to styling with Asian Fusion, it's freestyle. There's no breed standard. So, you know, it's not the kind of color by numbers that breed standard grooming can be. You've got to be able to look at a dog and adapt the look that the customer wants to suit the body shape and to get the most out of that coat for the dog that's standing in front of you. So so the scissor skills will give you that background to the tools of the trade and options. Or my earpod just fell out, sorry. And options in terms of you know, techniques to use when you're grooming.
Okay, cool. And how long is the course, and how do you learn it? It's online learning, is it?
Yeah. So it's all online. So all the information's on academy.asianfusiongrooming.com. So you can go onto that and have a big old read and see what's involved. It's all, you know, that one you sign up and you can get going as soon as you want. And the course is open for a year. You could whiz through it, but we give you exercises. So at the end of each kind of teaching module, there's that encouragement to sort of commit that skill to muscle memory. You know, so try it in the salon, practice it with a pair of scissors in your hand at home, because it is repetition that will make it a skill that's comfortable to you. There are some short questions to make sure that you absorb the knowledge at the end. That forms part of the assessment. And then we ask you to submit some short videos of you demonstrating those techniques, not within a groom as such, but just literally being able to, you know, roll your scissors, have the correct handling, the correct positioning for reverse cutting, and the other techniques that Pammie shows you. So that then all goes through to be assessed by Pammie, and then it goes into the OCNNI, who are the providers of the accreditation, and they send out your certificate. So, you know, you have a level 3 award for that one. With the styling course, it's a little bit different because it's a qualification and there's tutoring involved, and there's, you know, there's more that you need to be kind of supported with as you go along that journey. Now, again, you might come to us and go, yeah, I can do this style. I just want, you know, I just want to do the assessment, so I've got the qualification. That's fine. We won't go any quicker than the 12 weeks that we've written. So, you know, you just have to bear with us on that, because we find that even if you think that's great, but there's still some stuff that you could benefit from learning along the way. Pammie sprinkles a bit of magic dust in there, some tricks of the trade, bit of magic dust, which is, you know, her sort of closely guarded secret stuff. So it's, you know, it's worth kind of working with us across those 12 weeks. And again, you know, if you find that there's something there that you haven't heard or you haven't seen or you haven't tried before, you know, go away that week and use it in your salon and practice. And then when you come back into that tutor group, you know, the following week, like, let's discuss what, you know, how you found it going, and, you know, what were the benefits. So you'll be in a, you know, you'll be in a virtual group with other students doing the course. And that's the other thing, right? It's quite nice, isn't it, to be in a supported group? It's a lonely old business.
It is that building that community around, you know, doing a qualification on your own, it can be quite dry, it can be quite daunting, it can be quite scary, can't it? And being part of that community that are there to spur you on, celebrate with you, your careers, like help you with any issues and stuff like that, it just helps you to enjoy it. And that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about enjoying it, and you're going to get your best results from enjoyment.
Yeah, I said, you know, I said to Pammie, you know, like, I felt alive after Groomfest, you know, without being cliched about it, but you know, just the light and the sparkle in people's eyes, the excitement, you know, of what they were going to learn and how it was going to go, that just made all the long hours and the late nights worth it. So we start, our first cohort starts on the 2nd of October, so just under 2 weeks. So yeah, exciting stuff.
Are your cohorts limited in spaces, or how many do you sort of have, or how many were you looking to have?
So we've penciled out 20, you know, to be comfortable. We've got dates for January and April committed. So it's a 12-week program, but sometimes it will spread over, you know, like the first one spreads over 16 weeks because we run over December. So we stop on the 4th of December and then pick it back up in January. You know, we don't run in half term or, you know, Easter break, that kind of thing, because families, obviously, you know, people are busy. And also it's quite nice sometimes to have a breather where you can just catch up if you've missed a week. So, you know, we run it sort of over 12 weeks lessons over 16 weeks, that kind of pattern. We've penciled that we'll have 20. We'll see how that goes. But I think the other thing to mention is that we are bringing online satellite schools. So they will be Asian Fusion Academy satellite schools. So these are people who were very picky. We're very picky. Pammie's very, very picky.
Right, everyone, remember, Pammie used to be in the army and was a firearms instructor. Firearms instructors are very picky, believe me.
So I've learned over the 3 years that we've been working together, my 80% is fine is not.
But you know, if you can pick up the skills, the enthusiasm and the motivation that Pammie's got and bring it into your business, I mean, it's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. So and that's it. So we've started to speak to, you know, people who we think would be great tutors, right? Because that's the thing, like, you can learn the skill of being able to groom. You know, some of the people that we've spoken to are, you know, Pammie's students or ex-students, but you've got to have the right kind of attitude towards tutoring your students, that the same as we have got, because otherwise there's going to be a mismatch in terms of promise and expectation and then, you know, delivery. So that will happen next year. You know, we've got kind of, on one hand, and that will be very comfortable, you know, really good quality tutors who are very keen to come on and kind of echo, you know, the sentiment of what we're trying to do. So we will bring them on as satellite academies. So that means that there'll be more, you know, more places for people.
Have you had many people say, oh, you know, is this actually possible to do online and over the internet? And you know, do it via videos and stuff. Have you had many people ask about that?
We've had people who have expressed concern, you know, because they're not familiar with online learning, or, you know, they're worried that they haven't got the right equipment. You know, they might have a tablet, they haven't got a computer. The phone, you know, phone is all about visibility. It's all about, if look, my eyes are old. But you know, the young people, I've got kids who are in their 20s, you know, the phone for them is just an extension of you know, everything they do. So there will be, you know, there will be students who will be watching this on their phone, and that will work fine for them. But you know, you are reading, you are watching videos, so you just have to make sure that what works for you is the right thing. But the actual question about you know, how am I going to learn this skill hasn't come up yet. And
I think people are becoming more into the online world and understanding how it can be beneficial. You know, if you went to a salon for one day and learnt some skills, you've got to remember that for that day. Whereas with video learning online, you can go back, you can pause, you can rewind, you can go back over it, can't you?
Yeah,
that's the benefit, and it's amazing. I know I do a lot of teaching in person, and that sometimes can be an issue because there is so much information to impart in such a short space of time, and not everybody can absorb at that kind of rate, because we all learn in different ways. And I think we've got to be sensitive to the way people learn. And I think doing this online really embodies and encases every type of learner, because you've got the affordability of being able to go back and relook again should you want to, or call it a day, or not just turn up today and read your stuff, do it tomorrow if you need to. So you've got that flexibility, you've got that element of being comfortable doing it when you need to, and going back and doing it as often as you want, with that tutor group where you can come in on a weekly basis and know that there'll be other people who will be thinking the same thing, want to ask the same questions, feeling the same way, all of those things. And we come together and give each other a big hug once a week and say, come on, you know, let's get this done. And I think that's invaluable.
And I think it remotivates you, but also, like you said, if you just did like a weekend seminars with you, who's going to keep you accountable in the following weeks? Who's going to push you to go out and try those new skills that you've learned? Because you don't always get that follow-up, do you?
yeah, no, that's exactly right. And I sort of, we've done planners and
the following
things.
week, or even a month later, and say,
Oh, Pammie, you need to invest in a better internet connection. Go on, Jo.
The weather's bad, isn't it? I can see the weather's bad up north. Yeah, we've done planners, and just for you to kind of go, right, okay, dog one, yeah, I'm gonna have dog one in on weeks 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, you know. Dog two, they're coming in weeks 2, 4, 6, 8, you know, just so that you plan that out before you start, so that you know exactly, right, okay, so I know what my rotation's going to be, and we give you like the learning schedule, and then you know that when that dog comes in, and it doesn't have to be like a total different groom, just add half an hour on to a dog that you've got booked in, or you know, it's got the right coat, or you can practice elements of it, you know.
And I suppose another benefit for taking this learning online is that it's no longer, well, it's inclusive for everyone. You know, if you're on the very top of Scotland or the very bottom of the UK, or even across the water in Europe or the US, everyone gets the opportunity to learn. So
Yeah,
that's a big bonus, isn't it? And I take it, are you welcoming students from all over the world?
yeah, so we have had a lot of interest in that first 350, and in the first cohort I've got a lady in Scotland, a lady in Ireland, the rest, you know, the rest are in the kind of mainland, to start with. I've held back the international students, just like time difference. So, you know, we will address that next year. So they're on hold, you know, they know that they're on hold for now. The priority is to get, you know, to get a few groups, to get the feedback, to make sure that, you know, we're ticking all of the boxes in terms of expectation. And then this part of our business is new, so we're having to, you know, build and grow and bring the right people on to support the skills, like we were saying about the satellite schools, and just, you know, looking after the brand. But yeah, we're really chuffed, and you know, thank you to everybody who have been patient, and thank you to iPet Network and OCNNI who, you know, have been patient with us too, in terms of, you know, working together and getting something that we're both, you know, all parties are really chuffed about.
So if someone was listening to this and they're interested in the qualification, is there any specific equipment that they need to get ready, or do they need to have particular breeds of dogs on their books that would help them?
So the styling course is about wool coat. I had one lady message to say, I really want to do it, but I don't have, you know, dogs on my books that I think are right. And I literally just Googled influencers and her town name, and there was a dog walker, there was a natural food company, there was, you know, a company selling kind of harnesses and stuff. And I said, like, reach out to these people, because they've all got dog connections, and, you know, that's a great opportunity for that, you know, for you to work with them to sell a service to their customers, you know, and like mutuals. So there's ways around this. You know, we had conversations about, I've got cockapoos, I haven't got poodles. That's fine. You know, we'll walk you through it in terms of how you find the right, you know, the right dogs. But again, there has to be an onus of responsibility, because if you want this to be a commercial add-on to your business, then you need to be attracting those kind of owners, those kind of dogs. So even putting, you know, an ad out in the local business group or the local pet group on social media, that's all free to do. I'm doing a new qualification, this is what I'm learning to do. Are there any owners in the area that, you know, would like their dog to go on this journey with me? You know, I think people would be surprised that sometimes making an offer like that, they, you know, owners might step forward.
Think outside the box. And I think you just hit something else there as well. Is like, we've got to remember why we're doing this. We're doing this to improve our skills. We're doing this to perhaps reignite the passion with our business. We're doing this to help some of the pets that we're going to be working with, but also we're doing it to improve our business and add another potential revenue stream to our income.
Yeah.
So many benefits.
Yeah, no, it really is. And, you know, the type of owners that like this style of look, you know, they are particularly discerning. You know, their dogs will be their world, and that means, you know, more often than not, they've got some money that they're prepared to part with to get the best for their dog. You know, and being able to do this kind of groom that they've seen online but they've never dared hope to be able to, you know, to get that, I think that's great.
And will there be any will there be any work within the course around pricing afterwards, like how to go out and price Asian Fusion grooming with your clients?
That's interesting. I mean, we haven't put that in. We focused on, you know, delivering the skill. But I think that, you know, as the cohort grows, so we'll have the tutor groups, but we'll also have a closed Facebook group for everybody that goes through any of our, you know, any of our programs. So that will be a great forum to chat about, you know, how much are you going to price? I'm here, you know, I'm going to start at this price, you know, in the same way that you do within your group. I think that shared learning, you know, it is a great opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, definitely don't want people to, put all this effort in and then waste that skill with low pricing. I think it's got to be they've got to be up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we will definitely be supporting them advertising their newfound skills. So, it will be a qualification kind of window sticker, and obviously the social media support as well. So once the qualification, once that's being completed, there'll be ways to, to help.
Awesome. So, Pammie, you were going to say something.
God, everything else gone.
It's all about money. I know you like money.
But no, I think all I was going to say was, being able to learn a new skill is great, but you've got to be able to monetize it as well. So you do need to think outside the box, and you do need to think, right, I can pop an advert in the post office window, or advertise in my local group and do some free grooms. We've got people out there who actually have got really nice dogs that perhaps can't afford prices to have a really good quality, nice groom of a special variety of Asian variety. Do that kind of sharing. I'll share my dog with you, and then you give me those free grooms. I think that's a really good dealio, isn't it? And who knows, at the end of it, you might end up with a new customer who you can charge full price to, well, you should do, who will then be taking their dog out, using that dog as an advert for you, marching it around the park with people saying, who grooms your dog?
Exactly.
Winner. Stick your prices up, chicken dinner.
Love it. So you're going to have, well, you've already got I'm with Bill badges for my clients. They're going to be like I'm with Pammie and Jo badges coming out, having done the qualification. I think it's great.
Engineer.
Yeah. Awesome. So how do people go and find out about all these qualifications?
So just go on to Asian Fusion Grooming by Pammie, either on Facebook or Instagram. And there's a link in our bio or on the pinned post, which is a sign-up form. We're just, anybody that signs up that way will get sent an information pack. We're just loading the website with all of the information now. The kind of the official launch date is past. I still haven't got a website where I can, load everything and then set the timer. It's like it's all manual. Yeah, so it's either live or it's not. So yeah, that signing up with the link is the quickest way at the minute to get the information.
Okay, and pricing for the courses?
So pricing is £1,200. So you think about that, that's kind of, £100 for sort of each week of learning. But when you kind of break that down in terms of what we think you'll be able to charge for the grooms afterwards, it's, the feedback that we've had, I mean, because it's, obviously we've chosen a price based on what we think, but, ultimately the customer will decide. We have feedback on Sunday, because that was the first time that the pricing had gone out, that it was certainly a fair price, if not underpriced. But we want people to be able to come on and have it make a difference to their business. So yeah, and you basically pay in 2 halves. So there's a deposit fee, and then the rest is due just before you start. So if it sort of softens the pain.
I think what we need to remember with this kind of stuff is it's 12 weeks of learning, but it's actually lifelong learning. It's learning that you're going to take all the way through your business, and the rewards you get from it is a reward in confidence, a reward in working with like yourselves and Pammie, a reward with working within that community, and then the reward of diversification of your business and going out and making some more money from the lessons you learn. So £1,200.
It's a drop in the ocean compared to what you can make from it.
Exactly.
I think anybody that sits back and thinks, well, I don't really need to learn that. It's not for me. My customers won't like that. They won't want to do that. I think they're making a big mistake, Bill, because our customers are really savvy nowadays. Since we had COVID and lockdowns and people were online and they were looking, they're going out now and they're asking for it. And I get lots and lots and lots of messages every week saying, can you teach me? Well, you know, it's not quite as simple as can you teach me?
Yeah, need some basic skills there. But I mean, how many, I would challenge pet groomers, you know, how many people actually set up their pet grooming business, but never ask the people the customers, what they want?
Yeah, I know. I get it all the time. I get lots and lots of customers will come into my salon and ask for it because other local groomers have sent them to me because they're not offering it. Like, why wouldn't you?
That's it. That's it. So maybe if you're on the fence or you're not quite convinced, you know, get some examples, some pictures, put them out onto your socials and ask people who'd be interested in having a dog look like this. Who'd be interested if I offered that service? You know, generate the income before you spend the investment and generate it. Get people, you know, paying.
It will be like, you know, you talk about it all the time, Bill, and it's horses for courses, isn't it? And there's a customer base for every kind of groomer. But if you want to be up there, if you want to be at the top of your game and charge the premium prices, well, you've got to have the knowledge and the skill set to go with it, to be able to deliver the goods that your customers are happy to pay bigger money for, much bigger money for. If you want to do these and charge, you know, bog standard prices, then that's up to you. If that's your business model, that's fine. But if you're charging the low prices, you're actually going to be attracting the lower end of the market. And that's fine as well. That's absolutely fine if that's what you want to do. But you can't be charging those like cut prices and expect the clients who are expecting this level of service. There's got to be that bridge. And that's in education and confidence.
That's it.
And then you can go up there and then you can really charge whatever you want.
For me, this is now, I mean, I coming in and working with pet groomers for the last 2 years, you know, for me now, it's that carving a career, you know, a long, prosperous career out of being a pet groomer. And we know that causes like pet grooming so stressful and hard on your body. If you're going to be creating that career, then you need to be up there with your prices, with your quality, with your education and everything else to make sure that you can last a long time.
Yeah, definitely. All of that and more, you know, we just know that this is a killer business to be in. You know, we go home at the end of the day absolutely broken. Well, for goodness sake, you know, make it pay, get some knowledge and make it pay. Be kind to yourself. Awesome. Do less dogs, much more money.
That's it. Work smarter, not harder. Well, it was lovely having you on.
Thank you, Bill.
And let us know how you go. Maybe we can book you in again in January or a bit later when you've had a bit of feedback from your courses and talking to your students, and then obviously talk about how much you put the price up.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have you to our group and talk to our people about pricing.
Yeah, of course. You know, of course we can. It's the same I've got a build around here today. It's the same in every industry. There's limiting beliefs, you know, people won't pay that. There's lots of fear. There was a lot of fear coming out of him when we were talking about pricing and structure and stuff. You could see it sort of oozing out, this fear about money. But yeah, it's all there. There's money to be made, and it's just knowing how to go out and get it. But this is all about your qualifications, not me. So thank you for coming on and sharing everything with us.
Thank you.
And, thank you for listening.
Look forward to catching up and seeing how it goes.
Yeah. See you soon. Thanks, everyone.
Right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.